Thank you, Dennis. Governor Ron DeSantis wanted last week's controversial relocation of undocumented migrants to bring attention to America's border issues, and now he's got everyone's attention.
But is it more than the Republican bargained for ahead of November's election? Our Capitol reporter, Forrest Saunders, joining us live from Tallahassee with the latest from both camps tonight. Forrest?
Guys, one of the things we've been asking ourselves is how much are these flights going to impact the coming midterm elections? This is the second week the controversy has been in the headlines, and we see that both of the political candidates here, Charlie Crist and Ron DeSantis, they're both campaigning off of it. There's little doubt Democrats see a path to a DeSantis ouster by way of the Flightgate controversy. Since the surprise landing in Martha's Vineyard, the party and Charlie Crist have condemned the action as using people as political pawns.
I think it's a disaster. It's pretty clear that it's inhumane.
The most recent coming Wednesday, the Democrat telling reporters DeSantis has overreached in an attempt to score political points.
And I hear from Republicans this week that have told me they can't believe that he's gone to this level of unhumanity, if you will.
Analysts say DeSantis is threading a narrow needle. He may be electrifying his base with the flights, but is it at the risk of losing Hispanic voters?
You cannot any longer ignore the Hispanic vote in Florida.
Dr. Susan McManus stressed how diverse and vital the demographic is for the candidates. Hispanics now make up 18% of the state's electorate. They can make or break an election.
If you look at the 2020 elections, one of the reasons that Biden did not carry Florida was the huge Latino vote in Miami-Dade County.
For DeSantis' part, he's leaning into the flights, defending them as voluntary, helpful, and a spotlight on border security.
Now these policies are on the front burner. People need to be talking about. Biden can't defend his policies of open borders. It's doing huge damage.
The governor's got a new ad up highlighting illegal immigration.
My child's killed by someone who should not have been here. This is what happens when we have open borders.
And his campaign is firing off fundraising emails in an attempt to truly bank off what happened. DeSantis also has positive new polling. Two of the latest surveyed voters post-flights and found the incumbent up 7 points. But there's some potentially good news for Crist, too. Though Hispanic voters found him less favorable in the Civics poll, more said they'd vote for Crist if the election were today. Now, one further thing to note here is that all of the attention on these flights is pulling some of the focus away from big campaign issues like abortion. Some have even said that this was DeSantis' goal all along, as he hasn't given us a clear answer yet on what he would do with abortion in a second term. Jameson?
All right, Forrest, and have to ask you before you leave here, more legal battles brewing for the governor, another criminal complaint due to come. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we are hearing from some of the Democrats that they are thinking about mulling filing a new complaint that would look at whether or not Florida's governor is violating the budget rules that are associated with his $12 million program to relocate undocumented migrants, because those rules require the migrants to be from the state of Florida. And so there is some question there as to whether or not Florida is actually meeting these rule requirements, and that's what this legal proceeding would look at. We haven't got any confirmation that the paperwork has been filed yet or what court it would be filed in, but we are expecting it sometime today. Jameson?